welcome to another episode of Newsbeat coming to you from Greengrow TV. It's been a very busy week all over the world today, and we'll be giving you some updates on the biggest trends that we saw through the week. The week in review, you may call it. We'll start off with one of the major trends this week, which is the ongoing recall process of Senator Natasha after a faction of her constituents instituted a recall process after they expressed dissatisfaction with her conduct and alleging that her actions brought disrepute to their representation. They submitted a petition to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC that is, claiming to have gathered over 250,000 signatures in support of the recall. INEC has now acknowledged the receipt of the petition and is currently reviewing its validity in accordance with legal procedures. The situation has now polarized the constituency, with some groups supporting the recall efforts while others view it as politically motivated and unjust. But amidst this controversy, a dramatic altercation unfolded between former Minister of Education Obi Ezekwesili and Senator Onyekachi Nweboyin during a Senate hearing on the recall process. The hearing intended to address allegations of the harassment against Senator Akpoti Uduaghan, but it quickly escalated when Ezekwesili criticized the handling of the case and accused the Senate of being biased. Then Senator Nweboyin, who is a firm supporter of the recall, without a doubt, responded very much aggressively, leading to a heated exchange of insults between the two figures. Here's how it went down.
Shut up and take him out. Smell him out. Smell him out. Look like a dog. Look at you. Big fool. Fool at 70. Fool at 70. Please. Let me talk about that. I'm not being a senator.
I take exception.
What do you mean?
A senator.
Why are you talking to me like that?
You are a disgrace to the Senate.
You are an insult to womanhood.
You are
an insult to womanhood. And you are here to tell the world that you have not changed.
You cannot
You are here
violate
to tell the world that you have not changed.
You
At
are
70, you have not changed.
a
And we're starting to take it. I will not
You
take
are
it.
a
I
scoundrel.
will not take it.
To insult.
That is why you can never be here. People like you can never be here. People like you can never be here. How can you be? How can you be a fool?
Well, very harsh exchange of words there. Without a doubt, these developments spark a broader debate on the treatment of female politicians in Nigeria and the challenges they face within the political arena. The recall process remains a subject of intense scrutiny, with both sides fiercely contesting its legitimacy. And meanwhile, in other trending news, the 30 Days Rant Challenge is a social media movement in Nigeria. Is beginning to gain a lot of traction. It began this month, initiated by Raye, a National Youth Service Corps member, who posted a video expressing her frustrations about the country's economic hardships and encouraged fellow Nigerians to voice their grievances daily for 30 days. Now, the challenge has grown on various social media platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and others, with numerous Nigerians participating by sharing their videos and posts details about their personal experiences and concerns. The movement has sparked widespread discussions and debates about the state of the nation and the effectiveness of such online activism. And as the challenge progressed, some influencers and participants faced misunderstandings and backlash, but currently the 30 Days Rant Challenge continues to be a significant topic of conversation in Nigeria. This challenge is more than just a frustration. It's proof that Nigerians are awake. So to everyone participating, keep going. Your voice matters. Ranting may not fix everything overnight, but it definitely will force these issues into spotlight. And in another switch up of exciting news, in quotes, for COP members, the Nigerian government has finally begun paying the 77,000 monthly allowance, marking a rare moment of financial relief, in quotes again, amid the usual headlines of hardship. And after months of anticipation and budgetary delays, the increase aligns with the national minimum wage amendment. For many coppers who had grown used to barely stretching their previous 33,000 stipend, this is a welcome upgrade, one that some say is long overdue. However, while some core members are celebrating, others are quick to point out that in today's economy, 77,000 is barely enough to survive. Social media is filled with mixed reactions. Some coppers are sharing their excitement. Meanwhile, others argue that with the skyrocketing rent, food prices, and transport costs, the new figure still feels like pocket money rather than a sustainable stipend. This development brings a broader debate about whether the government's policies are actually keeping up with Nigeria's economic realities. Because while increase is a step forward, this increase is a step forward, it also serves as a reminder of how inflation has eroded the value of money. Well, for now, some core members can breathe a little easier, I guess, but with the cost of living still on the rise, many are left wondering if this is a true win or just the bare minimum dressed up in good news, or as good news rather. So let's have your thoughts on that. And just yesterday as well, Zenith Bank PLC reported a record-breaking profit after tax of 1 trillion naira for the 2024 financial year. Now that's a 52.6 increase from the 676.9 billion in 2023. This impressive growth was fueled by an 86% surge in gross earnings, which rose from 2.13 trillion to 3.97 trillion. While shareholders may be celebrating, some everyday Zenith Bank customers who struggle with network issues, delayed transactions, and long queues might be wondering, so where exactly is my own share of this trillion? Because, I mean, despite the bank's financial successes, many Nigerian customers continue to face day-to-day banking frustrations, from USD errors to we're currently experiencing high transaction volume messages. However, we do hope that the bank's overall financial health would lead to investments in improved digital infrastructure and, of course, better customer experience. Although the Group Managing Director, CEO, Dame Dr. Adora Imeoji, reaffirmed the bank's commitment to innovation and customer-centric solutions. So yeah, we do hope that the sum of these successes trickles down into making transactions faster, queues shorter, and those endless out-of-service messages a thing of the past. And still on recent developments, over the week, the Nigerian government implemented import duties ranging from 5% to 10% on imported solar panels. And this move has sparked varied reactions across the country. The action aligns with the government's broader strategy to promote local manufacturing and dependence on imported goods. The Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, emphasized the need for Nigeria to establish local industries to support the renewable energy sector, stating that we cannot continue to import solar panels forever, and therefore we need to actually establish a local industry to support the renewable energy sector value chain. However, the introduction of these import duties has led to mixed reactions. Some argue that the tariffs will encourage the development of local industries and reduce reliance on foreign products. But ironically, organizations like the Renewable Energy Association of Nigeria, that is REAN, have criticized the tariffs, describing them as arbitrary and detrimental, apparently, to the adoption of renewable energy network. And they warn that these duties could derail Nigeria's plan to generate 30% of its electricity from renewable sources by 2030. The debate over the import duties continues with calls for the government to reconsider or clarify its policies to balance the promotion of local industries. Well, with the need to make renewable energy affordable and accessible, that is. And as Nigeria strives to achieve its renewable energy targets, the discourse surrounding the import duties on solar panels shows that truly there are complexities involved in balancing economic policies with sustainable energy goals. But hopefully, I'm sure we're going to be able to figure that out and get to that particular balance we need to achieve the true sustainable development that we're all looking for. And away from Nigeria now, President Donald Trump on Wednesday announced the imposition of a 25% tariff on imported automobiles and certain auto parts, set to take effect on April 2nd. The administration justified this action by citing national security concerns, saying that reliance on foreign automotive imports has threatened the U.S. economy and industrial base.
Doing is a 25% tariff on all cars that are not made in the United States. If they're made in the United States, there's absolutely no tariff.
We expect that these tariffs will result in over $100 billion of new annual revenue to the United States of America in tariff revenue.
I think ultimately we could probably anywhere from $600 billion to $1 trillion will be taken in over the relatively short-term period, meaning a year from now.
Can I ask you about
Now, the announcement elicited mixed reactions within the United States, with major U.S. car manufacturers like Ford and General Motors expressing their concerns over the tariffs' potential to increase production costs and vehicle prices. The tariffs also prompted strong reactions from key U.S. trading partners. For instance, the Canadian Prime Minister, Mark Carney, condemned the tariffs as a direct attack on Canada and said that retaliatory measures were under consideration to protect Canadian interests. The Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba also said they would not rule out countermeasures in response to the tariff.
We will build an all-in Canada network for auto manufacturing components. Because on average, an auto part crosses that border, often through that bridge, over that bridge, 6 times before final assembly. And in a trade war, that's a huge vulnerability.
Well, you heard it there. The Canadian Prime Minister actually calls it a trade war. And just as many have predicted, it does seem like Trump being in the White House is leading up to a global trade war, as affected nations are already contemplating retaliatory actions. While the situation remains quite fluid, with ongoing negotiations and the potential for further policy adjustments as the countries seek to address the implications of the U.S. tariffs. And for our last update, South Korea is still battling its worst wildfires in history, with at least 27 people killed and more than 30 injured as the flames continue to ravage the southeastern regions. The fire have destroyed approximately 320 buildings and forced over 24,200 people to evacuate as of yesterday, that is Thursday. The officials have mobilized extensive resources to contain the disaster, but strong winds and dry conditions are making firefighting efforts a bit challenging for them. Now, the wildfires began on March 21st, which was last week Monday, fueled by ultra-dry conditions and strong winds that have particularly affecting the southeastern regions. The fires have rapidly spread, consuming vast areas of forest and threatening numerous communities. This incident again highlights the increasing threat of climate-induced disasters. So the reality is that whether we choose to pay attention to it or not, and that is climate change, the consequences are quite very clear and something we cannot escape. So our heart goes out to everyone in South Korea, and we do hope that proper measures are being put in place to be able to sort this all out, and we hope that this is able to end as soon as possible. Well, that's it on Newsbeat at this time. Many thanks for watching. I'm Tony Ugubanjo. It's bye for now.